Good morning, top fan followers. Welcome to another vitamin nutritionally packed episode of Can of Corn. I, of course, am your host and big homie, Big Dave. That is my buddy, Baseball Bill, the Robin to my Batman, the Apollo to my Rocky. Bill, how the heck are you on this glorious morning?
I'm awesome. I haven't ever been called Robin or Apollo, so it's good. As long as you don't call me Clever Lang or Ivan Drago.
No. We don't want to throw any shade to my buddy Ted Clubberlang. Okay, Teddy, what's up? Shout out to my boy.
All I
Uh,
gotta say though is based on what you said on a live recently, it goes like this. It ain't about how hard you hit, but it's about how hard you can get hit and how much you can take how much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
yeah, actually it was. It's not about how hard you get hit. It's about how you get up from getting hit. How hard you do, right, Adrian? But
The
no, yeah,
the
no.
next line is great. When he's after that, he says, "Now, if you know what you're worth, then go out and get what you're worth, but you got to be willing to take the hits and not
Yeah.
pointing fingers at someone else saying you ain't where you want to be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that."
The Gospel of Rocky
That's
Balboa.
right.
Thank you,
The
ladies
Gospel
and
of
gentlemen.
Rocky.
You know what I'm saying? There's
That's right.
there's 9 volumes of it. Go get you some Rocky. They're all good movies, all of them. Even five. Five was kind of, but
Yeah, yeah.
but if it's the worst, you can put up with it because at least you know. All right, well, let me get the worst one out of the way with Tommy Gunn. So
So
only in America. Anyway,
I'll have to tell you right now. I was in Idaho for a family wedding. Okay. When we had some free time, my one of my nephew's wives has never seen any of the Rockies. So we watched 1 and 2 that night. Now, the next
nice.
morning we were driving to Oakland, but she's all geeked up about it. She wants to watch all what is it now, 9 of them between 3 Creeds and 6 Rockies. She's all geeked up. She's ready to go.
Love it, love it. True story. Let me go off on a tangent real quick. So we had the benefit of cable TV when I was a young lad. Okay, call us
Okay.
privileged, call us. You can call us a lot of things, but one definite thing I know we weren't was rich. We just worked hard, and Granny had cable. Nonetheless, this was so old that the remote had a wire coming from the TV
Yep.
across the living room. There was a rug on top of it, and it looked like a Texas Instruments calculator was the remote. I digress. So, what I didn't realize is that there had been something invented called pay-per-view television. So, one evening, my mother left me with my grandmother to watch me for the evening. Got me a little cheeseburger. Little Dave was happy. Um, Granny would come into the living room and ask how I was doing. I'm good, Granny. I'm watching Rocky. All right. She'd come back in hour or so later. What you doing? I'm good, Graham, watching Rocky. She proceeded to check in on me about 5, 6 times. I'm still watching Rocky. Flash forward a month, we get the cable bill in, and I watched Rocky, I think, from start to finish, a total of 12 times. And I think it was to the tune of like, I don't know, $10 or so a piece. So yeah, do the math. Back in the early 80s, I had to do a lot of chores to pay that one off. But I love Rocky. The story is great, written
Love
by
it.
Sylvester Stallone himself,
Yeah.
Oscar award winning cinema.
Oscar award winning. Love it. Love it.
Speaking of must watch cinema, um, you know, we've got a couple of teams in the major leagues here that are making some moves. Some moving in the right direction, some maybe regressing a little bit, and some maybe they're just staying a little pat there. Bill, I wanted to ask you, are there certain teams hitting their stride right now at this particular part of the season? We've passed the midway point, we've passed the trade deadline. Um, the contenders are pretty evidently clear, and those that are in contention know what they need to do. So, Bill, are there any teams in particular that you could think of that are hitting their stride right at the moment, or consequently, going hitting the schneid, as they say?
So the Schneid would probably be the White Sox. They
I mean, is it really a schneid? If I mean, come on, who It's not like
Wow.
we expected them to go on a 30-game win streak. A
Well,
3-game win streak would be nice at this point.
so they lost 21 in a row, then they won a game, and then last night they lost again to the A's, and so now who knows? They got, I think, 89 losses.
On behalf of Astros fans like myself that were at the 2005 World Series, it couldn't happen to a better team. That being said, Jim McGuire, my condolences.
Yeah, somebody do a wellness check on our friend Jimmy. Um, so who's hitting their strides? The Mariners are hitting their stride. The Astros are hitting their stride. Um, the Cardinals, the Cardinals are streaky, but they're kind of hitting a weird stride. But I'll tell you what, the two teams that actually three teams that I think are hitting their stride and are very, very scary are the New York Metropolitans, the San Diego Padres, and the Arizona Diamondbacks. All three teams, as much as I hate to admit that, man, all three teams are playing out of their minds right now. And I love it. Absolutely love it.
Yes, I mean, I couldn't agree more. Of course, I'm an Astros fan, true and true. If you splice me right now, it's a good old coating of type Astro orange. But I can't lie, the Astros, they're kind of like the bio for say icy hot. We are hot and then we're cold and then we're hot again. Okay. That being said, though, after another magnificent performance by my man, you say Kikuchi, coming out with 9 strikeouts in his last outing, putting away the Rangers of South Oklahoma fame. Yes, yes, the defending champs that will not make the playoffs this year. Which means what, Bill? You know what that means? I wish I had a bell right here. I would ring it. Ding, 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 ding. The silver boot stays in H-Town. So put that in your hat and go on and take a long walk off a short pier, all you Ranger fans out there. Don't at me. Send all your complaints to Bill at TopFanRivalry.com. Okay.
Wait a second, wait a second, wait a second. No, no. Okay. Uh, Send all your complaints to Megan at TopFanRivalry.com. Because Bill's out for lunch.
That works. That works. The Mariners, these guys just won't go away. And I know that I think you agree with me that we've said it for a while now that the Mariners have been that team that was just right on the cusp. They were a few pieces away from putting it together. And it looks like they've started to do that. And much more importantly, I think winning, winning is contagious. The winning atmosphere and the swagger, nobody knows that better than the Astros. When Bragy's walking out doing the swagger walk and we're hitting bombs, that stuff's contagious. So the Mariners, it's going to make it tight in the AL West, much to the demise of the Rangers because they cannot seem to make up any ground. Speaking of teams that are on the schneid. The Padres are a team that are making a move. I think it may be, strictly a wild card chase for them. However, your boys in blue, the injury bug has hit them, hit you pretty bad here recently. Which you just had the guy come back and he didn't go very long, and that hurt for that guy. He was crying. What was his name? I'm sorry, I don't.
Bruce Gratterall was 8
Yeah,
pitches.
8 pitches in, and I mean he was distraught when he left that game. I'm gonna
Yeah.
tell you a team though that I think right now, as an American League team, I do not want to see, and it's a team that is sneaky good, and that's the Cleveland Guardians.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
these guys they split recently a 4-game series with the Red Hot Orioles, and they are sneaky good. They are the best team that you've never heard of, dare I say. I definitely, you do not want to see them early on in the playoffs. If you're a wild card team.
I do have to say something. You were talking about the injury bug for a second. I want to digress for 30 seconds. I'm at the game on Monday night. Freddie Freeman comes back after what happens with his son. Okay. First at bat, and I don't know if you saw the replay of this, Dave, but first at bat, he got a standing ovation. And did you see this?
Yeah, I saw the highlights. I saw Sports Center.
Okay, what you didn't see, what you didn't see. Remember, batter has to get in. The pitcher has 18 seconds to throw the pitch. The batter has to be ready by the 11th second, right? Obviously, Freddie's going to get a pitch clock violation. Umpire goes out and cleans off home plate. When we're almost down to 0, the catcher, Stubbs, goes out in front of home plate and basically turns to the umpire and just kind of looks at the crowd and basically says, without saying it, basically says, hey, if you're going to call pitch clock violation, it's on me.
Call
It's
it on
not on
us. We're
Freddie's.
not. Yeah, let Freddie have his moment. That was good stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
And
yeah,
you wouldn't
that's
see that on
awesome.
TV. But I was there at the game. I watched it. And I even said to Philly Sports Guy, to Jamie, Philly Sports Guy, I looked at him and I said, that is a class act. And later on that night, I met that player's dad, and we're going to have him on a podcast here soon. And, but yeah, class act. So, anyways, that, you were talking about injury bugs. Freddie was out for 2 weeks. Freddie's never missed 2 weeks in the season. He just doesn't do it. But you got to do what you got to do for your kids, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's that time of the year also where um everybody's gonna be hurt or banged up or
Yeah.
sore or tired. There's a lot of innings on a lot of arms. you know you don't see guys taking a lot of breaks this season. I mean, there's a lot of guys that have played the majority of games with only a day off here and there. And the major league schedule this year is insane with everybody playing everybody. So it's definitely something that shout out to the trainers out there. Make sure you got a good trainer. You want to go deep in the playoffs, make sure your training staff knows what's up. Get them ankles taped. Get that biofreeze. Biofreeze, holla at us. You know what I'm saying? We'll put your sticker right here.
There you go.
That being said, if we're gonna pitch some stuff, pitch it to us, right?
Right.
TopFanRivalry.com. Go right now. Get your locker room access, man. It's $25 a year. Okay. I spend more than $25 in a drive-through recently. All right. And let me say, I didn't felt like I had $25 worth of value. Not only will you get $25 worth of value, you will get all the extras included, okay? The private events, FanFest. If you don't know about FanFest, ask somebody in TFR to fill you in about FanFest. You will want to be there, okay? We've got a softball tournament coming up here in the great city of Houston / Sugarland, site to be determined. However, you can get access to all that right now, topfanrivalry.com. $25 a year. Look, use the access code Big Dave. Save you 10%. I know, math's not my best thing, but even I know that's like $2, $2.50. But look here, take that off of shipping or whatever, because you can go use that same discount code in the shop. What can you get in the shop? You can join our t-shirt club and get something fantastic like the Fremont 13 shirt. All right. Fremont 13, of course, is the infamous gang of I won't say hoodlums, but cantankerous sorts that took over Fremont Street at the last Fitted Fest, including and not becoming too Boa Bill. You gotta see the pictures.
It
But
wasn't Fitted
like I
Fest, it was
said,
Fan Fest, but close.
what did I say?
Fitted Fest.
Fitted Fan Fest. Look, Fitted Fest was a whole nother thing, but at Fan Fest, I'm sorry, there's too many F's in it. That's how much of a night it was.
Yeah.
Look, you don't even want to know about the bus ride home and what may or may have not went down in the bus. But
Okay.
anyway, flubs aside, go to the shop, okay? Right now, get your dugout mug, okay? Genuine dugout mug straight from the manufacturer. It's the real deal. There are no fugazis here, except no imitation. The real deal. This is what you can find on their site. But guess what? Right now, we've got a special agreement with them. We got a special deal. You can get them cheaper than you can on the site. All right. Durable, coated. The beverages will stay frosty or they'll stay warm. They'll do whatever. You can get your team on it. There's the gorgeous minor league team of the Houston Astros, the Sugarland Space Cowboys. But you can find that. You can find t-shirts. You can find baseball cards and a lot more over at the shop at topfanrivalry.com. Use discount code Big Dave and save yourself 10%. Bill,
100%. Yep.
so Obviously we've passed the trade deadline.
Mhm.
We've had a couple of conversations, so I'll let you start this off because you know where I'm going with this. But give me a couple of winners and losers in the trade deadline. Who performed fantastically and who dropped the ball?
Uh, Gosh, this is tough. I think the Mariners actually did very well picking up Brandon Rosarina and Justin Turner. I like that Justin Turner pickup. It gives veteran leadership to a guy who's won a World Series, who's been to 3 World Series, aspect of what you need in the clubhouse. Um, I there's a couple other teams that made smaller moves. The ones that I thought really were losers in it. And I'm gonna let you speak to one that's near and dear to your heart, but I felt like the Angels kind of dismantled and didn't do much. I felt like the White Sox didn't really do anything except for give away everything, which they just basically said, "Hey, we'll compete in 2092." Right? And so White Sox were there. The Yankees didn't do much. They did get Jazz Chisholm, but I was a little surprised. I was surprised at how many pitching prospects didn't move. Now, do I like what the Dodgers did? They got Flannery. Yes, I like that. They got Kopech. Yes, I like that. So I guess I would say winners, probably Seattle and probably LA. Bigger losers were probably Angels, White Sox. Uh, you
Don't
know,
say it. Don't
no,
you
no,
dare
I'm not going to
say
say it
it. I know
because
where you're going here.
well,
I'll
you say
agree
it.
with you. Um, the Angels, but I mean, come on. I mean, I feel sorry. Shout out to Mama Trout's favorite player, Mike Trout. It's absolutely devastating that he is done yet again. What do you do at that point? I mean, it's almost like you need to rebrand, move back to Anaheim, or Mickey, buy the team back and do something for these guys. Put some ears on the halo, whatever you got to do. The Mariners, to me, look like a team that was all in. Um, they have an opportunity to take over a division that they have been bridesmaids in for years, and not even contested in a lot of those. So I think they see the opportunity to take advantage of a Houston team that just doesn't seem to have the pinpoint accuracy that they did. So let's talk about the 300-pound orange in the room, straight out of Minute Maid Park. The Houston Astros made a couple of deals late in the trade deadline. And when I say late, I mean late. They had us here wondering what was going on. And the sticker shock of the original announcement of the trade sent shockwaves through the city. Um, After having a couple of sleeps, Bill, I was livid. It seemed like as soon as the trade was announced, we lost that game that we had a lead late in, blown save. So look here, you say Kikuchi, left-handed arm, would definitely be a third starter in pretty much any rotation in the league. The guy's got decent stuff. His short, he wasn't in New York long, and it wasn't the best. And you saw this guy a lot out there in the ravine, and his ERA elevated a little bit, but he did have major league stuff. The problem with Kukic, and I felt bad for the guy because obviously when you're a player in the league, you have no control over stuff like this, unless you're a big shot and you've got a clause. But for this guy, he woke up a Blue Jay. I mean, I'm sorry. Yes, a Blue Jay. I don't know why I'm talking about the other guy. He woke up a Blue Jay and then got traded to the Astros. I do think people don't realize that our former GM James Glick is now, I don't know his official title. It's not necessarily the head of baseball operations. He's not the GM, but he is a guy that has his finger on the pulse of baseball operations in Toronto. And I think that the price the Astros paid was probably higher than it would have been for anybody in the league. That being said, the market is what the market is. there were not, as you mentioned, a lot of pitching prospects moved. And I think partly because asking prices were potentially high. There's not a whole lot of sellers in the game this year. There's a lot of teams vying for contention in both leagues. So it was kind of a, okay, if I'm going to give up somebody, I'm going to get what I can. The Astros gave up rookie sensation Joey Lopavito. The guy came in. He was hitting at a big league level. He was fielding also at a big league level with a couple of phenomenal web gym catches. The one where he like played hacky sack with it and came down with it comes to mind. And I missed it. I can't go, yo, Joey at the game no more. We also gave up starting pitcher that we just brought up. Guy, I can't even remember his name.
Loss.
Joe Gloss. I was going to say Cost, but Joe Gloss. We just brought him up. He got hammered in his first game as a starter. And we also gave up an alum, a bloodline player, son of should be already Hall of Famer Billy Wagner, young William Wagner. Oh, here's the thing about prospects, guys. You are banking on a ceiling that you really don't know yet. Okay. And while Loperfido came in and won the hearts of many, he was a Sugarland boy. We've seen him play there while we were there a couple of months ago. And he came up through the system, and the kid was emotional when he got traded. And you love to see that. That means he was fired up. But look at what he did in Toronto since he's been traded, and it kind of makes you wonder, well, I mean, okay. Kukicha came in, set the strikeout record for a new starting pitcher in Houston with 12 Ks in his first start. Came up today and struck out 9 as well. So, did we overpay? Probably. But I think after the trade, the Astros on paper are a better team than they were before. We also traded for relief pitcher, the Ferguson kid out of the Yankees, as I was mistakenly mentioning earlier, and in the Dodgers organization. And he came in and blew a save for us. So the jury is still yet out on that. So I wouldn't say necessarily that the Astros, long story short, I wouldn't specify that the Astros are necessarily losers, but I don't think I think at what cost? We're trying to win right now, and we'll worry about the future in the future, I guess. So all I
100.
could say is short of a World Series appearance and a win, the trade may go down as a disappointment, and it may cost Dana Brown his job because our owner is very knee-jerk like that, and Jeff Bagwell's in his ear. But that's for another show.
Another show. So Dave, let me ask you this question. We've gotten through the trade deadline. Let's talk about leaders for a second. Take me through the American League with the Cy Young, the MVP, and the Rookie of the Year.
Oh man, so the AL. Let's start off with the big one, the MVP odds. And I mean, it's at this point, it's kind of, I would say, a two-horse race, really. You've got Aaron Judge going, bananas, knocking homers out. You gotta hit 59 for me, Judge. Okay. Hashtag keep Dave dry. We've got me and Bill have a bet. He set the line at 58 homers. I took the over. Stay tuned for that one. And the kid, Bobby Witt Jr., I think should get some nods, man. I mean, the kid is playing phenomenal baseball. Do I think he could get the votes to overtake Judge if Judge continues on this pace? I don't think it'll be close. So that being said, I think Judge should walk away with the MVP. But shout out to Bobby Witt and even Gunnar Henderson. I mean, this kid's been playing lights out as well all season. And Juan Soto, whatever, you can just go Juan Soto yourself. But yeah, I think Judge walks away with it. As far as most valuable player in the National League, it's got to be Shohei's award to lose at this point. I mean, he's doing this without pitching, and it's kind of scary to see that if he really focused on being just a hitter, I mean, this guy's got power. He hits like Judge, but he's got an IQ and an eye like Suzuki, and that is deadly. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? Kids, if you don't know who Ichiro Suzuki is, first of all, shame on your parents. And secondly, go YouTube it. Okay.
Go to YouTube it.
One of
So I
the
agree.
most prolific hitters.
I agree with you, but I'm going to make one bold statement. So I say that Shohei wins the MVP in the National League. He's going to be a 40-40 guy. I assume that he'll win it. I will tell you right now, I think Bobby Witt Jr. wins the MVP. I know Aaron Judge is going to hit 40 or 57 home runs, maybe 58, but he won't hit 59. We already know that Aaron Judge is amazing, but Bobby Witt Jr. 160 hits, 32 doubles, 10 triples, 21 home runs, 81 RBIs, um, only 78 strikeouts, 25 stolen bases. So he's a 2020 guy already, and he's batting 347. Now, if you look at Aaron Judge, 25 doubles, so it's less, 41 home runs, one triple, 104 RBIs, but 123 strikeouts and five stolen bases. I'm gonna give it to Bobby Witt Jr. this year.
And I would disagree with you, but baseball writers love the long ball. Always remember that. So it'll be interesting to see. No, we are not making any other side bets involving any other non-Astro players. Okay, you kind of snookered me into that deal, but it is what it is.
There you go.
As far as the what else did you say? Cy Young,
Cy Young.
American League Cy Young, man. It's hard to go. I'd say Tariq Skubal.
Yeah.
And shout out the Tigers are hosting the Mariners right now. Harmony, go Tigers! How about that? Woo. All right. We need the Tigers to handle the Mariners in this series, but Scobal's on the mound actually at the time of recording. I'm not sure what he's doing right now, but Scuball came out and has showed the masses that he's the real deal. You know, there was some speculation early on the season. Can he keep doing it? But I mean, the kid is lights out. He doesn't miss. And I mean, he's blown away good hitters. I mean, he's taken out the best of the best of the best. Um, Corbin Burns should probably get some consideration. Another this young talented kids, man. The Orioles team is fighting for that AL East title. And he's doing his thing. There's a couple of guys, as much as I hate to say it, in Seattle that are killing it. George Kirby and Logan Gilbert, both of these guys. I don't think they'll win it, but they'll get a couple of votes. But yeah, I think it's Screwball's title to lose. I wish that God, what's his name? Crochet, is it Crochet with the White Sox?
Crochet.
I wish
Crochet.
he'd have
Yeah.
got moved. I think that with a different team, he could have really turned it on
Mhm.
in the drive at this time. But we'll see. I would say that Corbin and Screwball would have to be the odds-on favorites.
Two balls, my choice. 12 and
Yeah, and
4,
over in the National League,
2.57.
my man Paul um, Kenny Powers Skeens is just. I mean, how can you be that nasty and have a mustache that clean? I'm just saying. I mean, it's like Burt Reynolds with a fastball. It is nasty. Um, and it looks so great. Pittsburgh, that's such a beautiful ballpark. Coming off the mound, I'm all excited about it. Yeah, Chris Sale will get some votes, but Atlanta, whatever. Zach Wheeler should get some nods. He's doing a phenomenal job with the Phils this year, who have turned it on, and I think will have put that out of reach. Just the way they're playing shouldn't surprise anybody. Even your boy over there in the ravine, Glass now, he's having a great year. I think he'll get consideration, but I want Paul Skeens to win this Cy Young. I think, it would be only fitting. It would be a topper. Realistically, do they have a shot at winning a World Series? Okay, as much as anybody else, yes, but it'd be nice for this kid to have something to hang this season on.
So here's I'm gonna throw you a curveball in this one. I say that Chris Sale wins it. He's got 163 strikeouts. Dylan Cease is gonna get a lot of sugar, but Chris Sale has a 2.62 ERA. Here's what I think about Paul Skeens. You ready? National League Rookie of the Year.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's gonna go. I really do. I think it will go to a pitcher this year. And Paul Skeens, like you said, he is just filthy nasty. You saw him pitch there at Minute Maid a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. I mean, the boy's
No,
good.
and we came into that game hot.
Yeah.
And he shut down that lineup. It was impressive and disgusting at the same time. The only person that I would see contesting Skeens for the National League Rookie of the Year would be Jackson Merrill.
That's a
Um,
possibility.
I mean, the kid, he's got it. He's got the talent there. Of course, Skeens is having a phenomenal year. It'd be hard to look that over, but it would not surprise me if Merrill, especially if he gets really hot right now, and leads the Padres into the playoffs. Um, I don't know. Be surprised. Over in the AL, Colton Cowser has been doing it again. We keep going back to this young Orioles team, but that's what they're doing. It's young, talented kids that are getting out there and getting it to it. Wyatt Langford, much to my dismay, up in South Oklahoma, has been a kid that I have reluctantly paid attention to this season. But yeah, no, I would have it going to Colton Cowser.
So I would agree with you. I would agree with you on that. And here's what I'm gonna say about Jackson Merrill. I think Jackson Merrill is just slightly below the Paul Skeens area, but when Jackson Merrill went 0 for 4 on opening day, playing right field for the Padres, and everybody that I was talking to, oh, this guy Jackson Merrill, yeah, they say, well, yeah. Listen, I said, everybody, it's your first game. You're in a different country. It counts. You're not looking at this from a perspective of this is spring training. The guy has 112 hits, 14 home runs, 58 RBIs, and 11 stolen bases. He's hitting 288. And Dave, the guy is 20 freaking 1 years old. He's 21. So I I like him in the future. It will be interesting to see how it all plays itself out. It'll be very interesting to
No,
see how it all plays.
definitely that he'll be somebody that will be putting up numbers for a long time as long as he can stay healthy.
Yep. Yep. 100%. 100%. Okay. Dave, what do we want to do for off the record? I mean, we've got a few minutes left. What
So
do we want to do off the
so
record?
as I've been watching my beloved Astros here in town, something is becoming um crystal clear to me. And that is the AL West is the most exciting division to watch in baseball right now.
Okay.
Okay? I think that out of the divisions, this will be the closest contested division, going down to the wire with a lot of games between the Mariners and the Astros, along with the other AL West teams, South Oklahoma. But yeah, man, it's getting good. The like I said earlier, those pesky Mariners just won't lose, and the Astros were fighting injury bugs. We found out this week that Lance McCullers will not pitch this year. And if I had anything to do it, he wouldn't pitch for us anymore ever. But that's the theme of the year: pay people not to play. So hey, maybe I got a shot. Sign me up to one of those deals where I ain't got to play. But yeah, what do you think, Bill?
Yeah. No, I think you nailed it. I really think you nailed it. I am uh I would have said the American League East. And for a lot of the time I was looking at it. And Dave, you and I talked about this at the beginning of June. We said straight out at the beginning of June, if this continues on, and if you guys aren't under double digits at the end of June, the season's probably over. Well, by the All-Star break, you guys were a couple games back. Now you're a half a game or a game or something like that, or even I don't even know. But yes, and Seattle hasn't won a division since 2001. They're hungry for it. They want it. They need it. They can smell it. And and I kind of get the sense that the Astros are looking at this and going, "Hey, we," and no disrespect, I'm not throwing shade, but I'm kind of looking at this as this the Astros kind of are
It's the
acting
last.
like this may be
It's,
the last hurrah over the next
it's
couple
the
of years.
last dance, man. It's the
Yeah, I
last
mean,
dance.
please don't think I'm throwing shade, but is it the most exciting division? Probably. Um, there's only two teams chasing for it. The Rangers are out, the Angels are out. Oakland never really got started. Um, and so at the end of the day, the National or the American League East has, three or four teams, but you kind of expect that, and those people don't the they get so much love anyways, right? I mean, my
Yeah.
gosh, anytime Boston plays on Sunday against anybody or the Yankees play on, I mean, isn't that something? These guys could be 2-57 each, and you guys could be 59-0, and the Dodgers could be 58-1 and playing each other, and it's the Yankees Red Sox on Sunday.
Yeah. Or even worse than that, it's the Yankees Rays. Just because it's you get the major market team.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly. But yes, it is the most exciting division to watch. It's coming down, and you guys have a funky schedule. I did not realize to end the month, you guys have an 18 game in a row schedule. And then Major League Baseball, listen to me. Whoever does your schedules, stop it. Do you know? I'm not mistaken. If I'm not mistaken, you guys fly after a Sunday game to, I think it's a Sunday home game too, to Cincinnati. You play on Monday, then you have Tuesday off, and then you play on Wednesday and Thursday in Cincinnati. Makes absolutely no sense to me.
mm,
Does this make any sense to you, Dave?
I mean, maybe they've got passes for the zoo. I hear there's a nice zoo up there. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
I'm. As we talk, I'm going to verify what I'm saying is correct. But I saw that when I was talking with Kenna the other morning, and I was in shock. Yeah, yeah. So you play three against the White Sox at home, three against the Red Sox at home, four in Baltimore, three in Philly. Then you come home to Kansas City, and then and end that on a Sunday, and then you play on Monday in Cincinnati, and then you have Tuesday off, and then you play in Cincinnati Wednesday and Thursday, only to fly home and play the Diamondbacks to have the following Monday off. Uh, what just happened here? Like,
I think that the Major League Scheduling Department had a map on the wall and a bucket full of darts, and we're like, okay, here we go.
no. So Dave, you play 18 in a row, you get a day off. You then play five in a row, you get another day off, and then you play 16 in a row. Like, I don't know.
Sounds daunting. It sounds daunting, but numbers will tell you that the Astros historically play well on stretches like that.
I just want to know who
So
you guys pissed off in the league office. Like,
oh, it's obvious. It's I think Manfred's trying to get back at us for immunity.
did
Um,
did one of Manfred's like grandkids like hook up with an Astro fan in high school and then he dated somebody else or something? Like, what's going on?
Now, Manfred bet on the Dodgers with Otani, and 2017 he took a loss, so he's
Yeah,
still he's still he's still bitter. Bang bang,
bang
fastball.
bang. All right, Dave. This has been a phenomenal episode, but those that are listening, watching it, I know you guys got other things to do. And I know you've stared at both of our faces and said, my gosh, these guys have a face for radio. So if you're watching this on YouTube, congratulations, it's free content. If you're in the locker room and you're watching this, Congratulations, you're in the locker room because membership has its perks. Dave, what's going on? Why do they want locker room? Let's wrap this thing up in 90 seconds. Why do they want locker
Look, you got to get your locker room access. It's pennies on the dollars. $25 a year gets you access to all of the content, much more than that. We have softball tournament coming up. We have a ladies' night, virtual night planned on the docket here. But I'm telling you, you can't miss it. You get your locker room access. You don't want to miss out. We have Fan Fest in January in lovely Las Vegas. You do not want to miss out. Go right now, get your locker room access. Use discount code Big Dave. If you're watching this on YouTube, thank you. Enjoy the free content. Do us a favor, mash that subscribe button. This, of course, has been another episode of Can of Corn, where you can come get your daily dose of baseball information for the day. Thank you for tuning in. On behalf of Baseball Bill, I am Big Dave, and as always, go Stros.
Dodgers? Talk to you later.